Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Doing something a little different this time. This is a US Sprint Enduro. My first time ever doing one of these. This is the cross test that I'm on now. This is actually the third loop for the second day. As you can see, compared to the footage I had from the first day, the weather took a little bit of a turn. It wasn't bad. It didn't like downpour or anything, but it sprinkled on and off for pretty much the entirety of the day, or at least the entirety of the time we were racing. This little spot right here was actually really fun with this little whoop. I love that every time. But yeah, never done a US Sprint Enduro before. It's actually a really fun format. At first it seemed kind of chaotic to me. I didn't understand how the starting worked at first. It seemed like kind of random. But after I figured that out, about partway through the first day, it was fun. And I actually like it a little bit better than the hair scrummer races. Just the formatting is really fun because you do a moto and then you go back and you got like 20 or so minutes to take a break, grab some water, have a snack, talk to your friends, and then you go back and do the next test, and you alternate between the two tests. So you have a cross test, which is what we're looking at now, and the enduro test, which is more akin to woods racing. Yeah, I'll actually. It's hard to say this, but I think I actually enjoyed the cross test more. I do a lot of woods racing, as you know, and I really enjoy woods racing, but man, this field stuff was actually really freaking fun. So catching up, this guy here in front of me is Dylan Bowles. He's actually in my class. Dude's a decent bit faster than me, but towards the end of the day, he started having some trouble where, I don't know if he was having trouble with his bike, getting it to start, or what it was, but he went down a couple times and lost significant time every time he went down. And I think what was happening was he would go down and then he would have trouble getting his bike to start afterwards. But yeah, I had a lot of fun racing. Him and Cameron Dill were in my class. They were first and second finishers, and it was a lot of fun racing with those guys, trying to catch them. Really, not a whole lot of racing going on there. They were, like I said, pretty decently faster than me. That little section right there was really rough. There was like some roots there. But yeah, compared to the first day, the cross test was a little more slick with the rain. It wasn't bad, but there were a couple of spots that could be a little sketchy if you weren't careful. You couldn't push as hard as you could, obviously, when it was a dry day. The interesting thing was, my first day, if you watched that video, I showed the times at the end. I improved every single test. So my times got faster and faster and faster and faster. Today, complete opposite. I did my fastest times for both the cross test and the enduro test right in the beginning, and then from there steadily got worse. But I think that was down to the track conditions getting worse as it rained more and more. In particular, the enduro test got really slick. There goes Dylan going down. I didn't see him again after that, so I think he had some trouble with his bike. It's unfortunate because honestly, I would. It almost feels like a cop-out. Like I did pass him, but it's not because of like skill. I guess it's because, you know, a small mistake and then bike trouble. So I feel like it doesn't really count. What I really like about the cross test is just you can just whack the throttle wide open, and that's just something you can't really do in the tighter woods. Like there are some open wood sections that you can really whack it open, but like in the cross test, it's the entire thing. Like that's all you're doing is just whacking the bike wide open for the straightaways. It's a lot of fun. I did notice looking through the final results for both days that there were quite a few people that actually only did the cross tests. They didn't do the enduro tests at all, so I guess there's a lot of people that really enjoy the cross tests. This spot right here was another spot I really enjoyed. There are these 3 little hills. Whoop, whoop. Well, I guess it's 4. But then preceding that is this spot, or succeeding. After that spot was that little corner there with some roots, and it was kind of sketchy. If you caught one of those roots the wrong way, you could really swoop the bike out in front of you. So I'm catching up with this guy here in the red. He was actually the last guy in the class before me, the 250C class. And I'd caught him a few times already during the day, and hadn't really had any problems getting around them. Now I will say I did make some odd line choices here trying to get around them. But at the same time, like he knew I was there, so it's kind of weird. Like he definitely knew I was there after that point, and then he just roosted the crap out of me. I wasn't wearing goggles because of the rain. I didn't have any roll-offs or anything, and like he got me right in the freaking eyes with that dirt. So I don't know. It's just like I'm not mad at the guy, but like he knew I was there. He could have just lit up for a second and let me get around him. We're not racing like against each other directly in this sprint series or the US Sprint Enduros. It's you're racing the clock. So having somebody do something like that for you seems kind of pointless. I don't know. I'm not really complaining. It's just I thought it was kind of funny. So that ends the 3rd cross test, and we're gonna go right on over to the 3rd enduro test here. And I nearly wheelie into the the starting gate thing there. So of course it starts off with a little bit of open fields, and it can be really deceiving because you really get some speed going, kind of like the cross test. And then you get down here, and oh, it's an immediate left turn straight into the woods. And you can already see this first area. This was pretty slick. There's Dylan. Looks like he had gone down again. But yeah, it's deceptive because it looks so dry, but it was actually really slick. So what I was doing through this first area especially is trying to run in a higher gear to keep the rear tire from slipping so much when I got on the throttle. Just kind of lugging the bike. It mostly worked, but I think I could have gone a gear lower and gained a couple seconds. This spot right here in particular was like really awkward. Yeah, you can see how kind of slick this is, and it's pretty off camber in some of the areas. So like you're just sliding. There's the guy from the cross test who roosted me. Luckily this time he let me by without much trouble. this stuff here is like super slick, and then this corner was a bit awkward. It wasn't bad, but before the rut was really burned in good, it was a little weird. And then now we're starting to get to the more normal woodsy stuff. Definitely felt more comfortable here than the first part. Although for some reason I almost hit this tree right here. Like, I have no idea why. Like, I hit the brakes and the bike just lined itself up for the tree, and I was like, whoa. Losing the front there a little bit. Yeah, you can see I could have definitely gone a gear lower. I was really having to clutch the bike to get it up to speed out of the turns and stuff. Taking it really easy down that hill because I didn't want to overshoot it. That almost happened to me on the previous test for this one. Pretty slick through there. So now we're coming into the very back side of the property, I think. Definitely my favorite part of the enduro test. It was just nice and flowy and pretty flat, not a lot of elevation change down here. I really like this sand down through here by the creek. That was a lot of fun. So this guy here in front of me was actually parked right next to me both days, so we chatted quite a bit between tests. He was actually in the class ahead of me, 250C. Just letting him know I'm back there, and then he hops out of the way for me and lets me straight by. I really like this corner right here. So you come around the corner and then shoot the gap between those two trees. It just felt cool every time. And now we're coming into another sketchy section down here by the creek. This is where a lady in the women's class got hurt the previous day. There's a lot of roots and stuff, and then especially with the rain, it was kind of sketchy. So there's a hill coming up that you could go straight over, and that's normally what I had been doing. But it was kind of off camber, and with how slick it was, I chose, this one here. I chose to go around to the right to kind of keep any incidents from occurring. acceleration bumps back there were pretty bad. This turn here kind of caught me off guard the day before because of the roots right after the right at the end of the rut there. But as long as you know it's there, it's not too bad. But it caught me off guard the first time, and I nearly went to the trees to the left when I hit the roots. Trying to take alternate lines through here, staying out of the ruts and straightening things up as much as I can. I don't know if it's the right move, but it felt better to me to do that than ride through the worn out ruts. I never had a problem with this turn the entire time, but it felt sketchy every time. Because it was kind of a downhill, then to the right, and there's a tree like right there to your left. Never had any problems with it though. And that is it. End of the day in second in the 150C class. Not bad. And then 16th overall for adult C, or overall C. So that's it. A lot of fun. I think I'm going to do more of these next year, so stay tuned. And Carolina XC is coming up, so I'm going to be posting videos on that again. So until next time, guys, take it easy.